now?
Okay, I'm thinking 2 options.
So I've heard that tonight the aurora is going to be out. In the last week there's been quite a lot of activity here in Tasmania. We're currently in Hobart City and we just decided today that we're going to drive to the Tasman Peninsula, and I think what we'll do is hike Cape Raoul. This hike takes us to a point right on the south coast so that we can overlook the ocean and hopefully see all the colors of the Southern Lights. So we've just arrived at the trailhead of Cape Raoul. It's a 14k hike, so we're gonna get out there, hopefully see the Southern Lights, and I guess we'll be walking back in the dark, so just packing our stuff. We'll bring our head torch, some camera gear, water bottles, and I guess that's all we need, hopefully.
Tell us who you're wearing.
Sponsored by Kathmandu today. My t-shirt, Kathmandu, my boots, Kathmandu.
How's this pose?
Dude, some people coming into the car park were looking so hike ready. They had the poles, they had the leg warmers, so I'm trying to do the same. Let's go find some Southern Lights. I'm feeling the adventure.
Say my name, like you know what tomorrow brings, what the wildflowers sow. You got seeds in your pocket that steady grow. It's a wild.
This water's so clear. There's not a wave in the ocean right now. That is insane. Wow.
While the rain outside is turning into frost, it's a wild world.
Dude, this is an amazing spot.
So we made it to the end of Cape Raoul. The view is so beautiful. The light hit it for probably only a minute,
Right.
but when it lit up, it looked so stunning.
Yeah, definitely worth the hike to come out here.
Yeah, but as you can probably tell, it is extremely windy. So I don't think we're gonna manage being out here in the dark and the cold. I think if we leave now, head back to the van, there's another point if we drive 30 minutes that looks south. So I think we'd be able to see it there.
Yeah, we'll have the van, we'll make some tea, and we'll wait it out and find the Southern Lights if they come out tonight.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Fingers crossed though, we don't know if we're gonna make it, but
I really hope we see
it
them.
would be epic if they come out. Luckily it's a clear night, like some clouds, but not too much.
Okay, so we'll see you back at the car in a few hours.
You getting the shot?
Ooh. That'll be good for the Southern Lights too, because the moon will be so bright.
True.
This not so little guy just scared us. It's a wombat.
By the time we drove half an hour to the next location, the wind picked up even more. The drive also made us realize just how tired we were, so we went to bed and fell asleep like a light. We spent the next day driving across the state from the southeast to the northwest to borrow some hiking gear from our friends. Then we headed back down to the southwest to tackle a new adventure. I couldn't help feeling a bit disappointed that we hadn't been able to witness the beauty of the Southern Lights. We really did try, but it just wasn't meant to be. I knew that dwelling on it wouldn't change anything, so I wasn't going to let one missed opportunity ruin my experience. I made a conscious effort to shift my focus and embrace all the wonder and adventure that Tasmania had in store for us during our last week here. After all, life is all about making the most of every moment, and I tried my best not to let this setback bring me down.
He has risen.
I'm alive! Yes! Ready?
Love the enthusiasm this one.
Yes!
Since we first got to Tassie, the one thing that I wanted to do was an overnight hike, and of course we've left it to the last possible moment. We have another week left in Tassie and there's only 2 sunny days, which is today and tomorrow, and then it's meant to be rainy and like 7 degrees for the rest of the time we're here. We're going to be hiking to a spot called Lake Rona. It's 28 kilometers return, so we'll do 14 kilometers today, and we're gonna end up at this lake and camp on the beach. I'm so excited for this. Also pretty nervous because we haven't really done anything like this before, so it'll be a first. But we have some friends here in Tassie and they luckily lent us all of their camping gear. We do have another 2 hours of driving until we get there. So yesterday we drove for 5 hours through all of the valleys. It was such a beautiful drive and the air is just so fresh out here. We were driving throughout the highlands and there was rainbows and beautiful skies, wild horses, and it just felt magical out there. We need to right pack these. It is so heavy.
I know, we're about halfway packed, so...
We don't even have any of the camera gear in there. Mine's basically packed though, I don't want to mess it up. My friend Dee, who's lent us all of this gear, sent me away with like 5 different thermal tops, so it's making me a little bit nervous for how cold it's going to be tonight. She said I'm going to need them all. So we just passed a sign that said that the bridge is closed coming up, and we have absolutely no service at the moment, but we have our maps downloaded and it looks like there's a river up here. So we haven't really thought that far ahead what we'd do if the bridge is actually closed. Shit. Oh look, what? Is that a Tassie devil?
It's a Tassie devil. No way.
Oh my god.
Oh, we just saw a Tasmanian devil just run across the road. What? Like just as we came around the bend, it just crossed right here.
Oh my goodness.
No.
What?
No way. We literally drove 6 hours to come down here. We like came so far to do this hike. Oh, bro. And there was nothing online about it, hey?
No. Are you joking? What do we do?
Mate,
Ah!
you wouldn't believe it, eh? You wouldn't even believe it.
I'm shocked. I was so excited. Oh, what do we do now?
Okay, I'm thinking two options. There's a track that I could see people have taken back here to the right, and it goes around to this river crossing apparently.
Do you think?
Or
Do you know
we
that?
grab our packs. I seen a little track on the map going towards the crossing, but back up to the north. Or we grab our packs and we do an extra 13 k's.
I'm not doing an extra 26 k's. We'd be hiking for 4 days.
Yeah, it doubles.
We don't have enough
The
food
hike.
for that. Okay, I don't know what to do. I guess we'll go check out the other road.
Right, let's do it.
Otherwise, we're driving back 6 hours the way we came. I don't think we're gonna make it down that track.
Nah. It's a bit hectic, isn't it? We just don't know what's around the corner. It seems like it's pretty boggy. Someone's obviously been trimming all these branches though.
True.
I'm just curious when they're coming down here.
Since our first night trying to find the Southern Lights was a very much failed attempt, we're out here trying again. We're now in the middle of Tasmania and we're up pretty high, so we're hoping that because we're at a higher altitude, it will be more likely that we'll see them. There is a fair few clouds lingering around, so I'm not too sure what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna get my hopes up too much, but we only have a week left in Tassie, so if we don't see the Southern Lights tonight, I doubt we'll see them, so I'll have to make another trip back to Tasmania at some point. It's been quite a challenge to actually know if they're gonna come out or not, because apparently they only know 45 minutes before fast solar wind reaches Earth. After that, if the magnetic field isn't a certain way, then it's unlikely that you'll see anything. I'm not too sure how often it actually happens down here, but since I've been watching it, it has seemed to be happening about once a week for the last month. Hopefully we see something tonight. In the meantime, we're gonna set up a movie on our projector. We've been watching Harry Potter, and they're actually so good. I forgot how good they were. So the Southern Lights were not nearly as bright as I would have hoped last night, but we did see some green on the horizon, and in my time lapse when I watched it back, I could see some pink colors dancing in the sky. So I'm just happy to have captured anything. I could only imagine what the experience would be like seeing the northern or southern lights with your naked eye in their full vibrant colors. It would have to be the most magical experience ever. All in all, seeing the Southern Lights down here in Tasmania has been a little bit uneventful, but what did happen last night, it was actually the creepiest experience. We went to bed at about midnight because these dark storm clouds rolled in, and I woke up again at about 1 a.m. and I heard some footsteps outside, and it's a really distinct noise because we're parked up on this rocky beach. I just laid there frozen for a little bit, listening to the noises. It was really annoying because I had to go pee, but I was too scared to get out of the van to go. So after I laid there for a little while, I got up and I swear I saw the shape of a head. It was sort of just a silhouette, so I couldn't really tell what it was. And after that, it just went silent. Then when I finally did get out of the van to go pee, there was nothing here, so I was really confused. We were just looking at my tripod though, and there's this one rubber piece on one of the legs, and it has bite marks out of it. So after seeing that, we're thinking it must have been a deer or a Tassie devil or something that came and was just lurking around the van. What do we think? Was it a deer?
I want to think it's a Tassie devil.
That would be cool.
That actually would be cooler. But because you saw a head in the front windscreen, I think that it's a deer. And it was just yesterday that the locals here were telling us how many deer are around this area. So.
We're passing through this small town and we both really are in need of a shower. So we found this swimming pool. Apparently they have $2 showers. But we've just gone in and checked and they're only open December, January, February, and it's like March 3rd today. So this is really just not our week. I guess we're gonna find a river to jump in and boil some hot water for a bucket bath. Spots to a more protected area in the forest. It was the first day of autumn the other day here in Australia, and it feels like the cold weather just came in full force. We had beautiful, sunny, warm days for so long, and then the 1st of March, it just completely changed. It is so cold out today. I can't complain because we've had such a good run here in Tassie, but this last week has just not worked out for us. I'm still feeling pretty disappointed about the whole hike situation. It has been a few things in a row that have led up to my disappointment as well, but especially this one. They were the last few sunny days of our trip as well, and we just spent it driving in the Combi, which is already pretty exhausting. I'm feeling pretty lethargic today, and I would love to go for a swim in the lake, but it is freezing. The other thing that happened earlier this week was we drove quite a far way to get to this town called Derby, where I booked a private sauna. It looked amazing and I was so excited for it, and I think that's why I was so let down. I've been reflecting this week and it dawned on me that the only times I have wanted something or had expectations during our time here in Tassie have been the few things that haven't worked out for us. At the beginning of our trip, we had no plans and we were just going with the flow the whole time. But I guess sometimes it is just the unexpected moments in life that make us the happiest. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go for a swim in the freezing cold lake, but I'm gonna boil some hot water so that when we come back, I can add a little bit of cold water to the hot water and it'll be like a warm shower.
every time we get a big rain, I think moisture comes through those vents and sits on some of these electricals. So when we go to turn her over, she's just a bit sluggish. Doesn't help that the battery sits right underneath the vent either. It's a bit wet. It did rain pretty hard last night, eh?
Yeah, it's close. Oh, there we go. Oh.
Alright, just hold on a sec.
Hey, we got her going.
It's so good knowing some old boys, eh? So he reckons the WD-40 actually takes moisture out of all of the electricals, like the rotor cap and the spark plugs, and it creates a seal, because every time we get a bit of rain and moisture, she never wants to kick over, and it's just because there's got a little bit of moisture sitting on all the electrical parts.
It's a fact of life that sometimes everything goes wrong. No matter how meticulously we plan or how hard we try, there are times when things simply don't go according to plan. Maybe it's a project that falls apart at the last minute, a relationship that crumbles unexpectedly, or just a string of bad luck that seems never ending. Whatever the cause, these moments can be some of the most challenging and difficult in our lives. We may feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and powerless in the face of circumstances beyond our control.
Made it. We made it to the top. Oh, my cane stands
Pretty. So nice up here.
I reckon it kind of seems like it's like a movie backdrop.
But even in the midst of these difficult times, it's important to remember that we're not alone. Everyone faces setbacks and challenges, and it's how we respond to these moments that define us. With patience, perseverance, and a willingness to adapt, we can overcome even the most daunting obstacles and emerge stronger on the other side.
Very wet and very cold today.
It's a wet one.